it's important within the mindset, right, to script these things into your head. Again, we talked about that sense of paranoia that everyone, I think, should take on, and knowing that, okay, if I'm at Dollar General, what do they have in the back? They have racks, they have different things that I could push in front of that door to deny access to where I am. So keeping that in your mind, and it could happen anywhere, but number one, trying to avoid it. If you can't avoid it, deny it. And then from there, being prepared to fight for your life, because you're not going to be a victim. And again, it goes back to the mindset. So being able to defend yourself. What can you defend yourself with? Anything, a stiletto, a wine bottle, whatever you have, a chair, right? Because at that point, you've attempted to avoid, you're unable to do that. You're trying to deny access to where you are, you and your loved ones, or citizens that you may not even know that you're trying to help save their life. So now you're defending yourself, right? Because
fighting.
Yes, because it's a fight for your life. Just like for us in law enforcement, there's chances that we will be fighting for our life, and our citizens have to take that on as well. I think that extends to our citizens, and it's not just for law enforcement. So being able to defend yourself and knowing that you're not going to be a victim to this individual's act.
So it's avoid,
deny,
and defend. You got that, folks? Avoid, deny, and defend. What else, Corey?
There's two brains, right? We have the human brain, which is the thinker, and we have the lizard brain that's reacting. So oftentimes there's denial amongst people where they hear gunshots and they start thinking, well, was that gunshots or did a box drop? Right? We should never be in that situation. We should just use our lizard brain and go. And when I say lizard brain, what happens when you walk up to a lizard? What happened to the last lizard that you walked up to? What happened to him? What did he do?
He ran.
He didn't think. He didn't say, Trevino's 6'4" and I'm gonna shake his hand. He says, I don't want any part of this, and he got out of the situation. So that's the part of our brain that needs to kick in, and then worry about what it may have been later, right? And people always laugh at the presentations when I talk about that. So you have to engage that lizard portion of your brain and worry about the thinking later, right? Yeah. Doing your best to get every and anyone you can out of that situation, because ultimately you're there as a lifesaver as well.
So what can you tell? I mean, now it's a fad trend. Now everybody wants to get armed. I do the license to carry. I host the classes here at my gym. In the last 3 months, I probably had 3. 1 people show up, 4. That was the best. That was a sellout. 4 people, and now all the classes are sold out. So as law enforcement, what can you tell a civilian that's armed? So you won't confuse them? So what is the best advice you can give somebody that is armed and is at an incident like that?
The license to carry, I think, is great. It's great. And, what those that choose to carry in that capacity have to understand the importance of training. It, again, just like in law enforcement, it extends to them as well. So the responsibility that we have in law enforcement for every round that is fired from our weapon, the license to carry, citizens have to take that on as well. So the level of training that they have has to be up to par. Going through a license to carry course is not going to be enough. Just like it is for us in law enforcement, we train continuously.
People think just by carrying it. And here's another thing. I mean, in the courses that we might be doing, we're going to talk about, like, okay, you have a gun, what are you going to do?
So, and I've had that question, and just like in Sutherland Springs at the church, there was a community member there, and he stopped that threat, right? But for law enforcement, everyone has to understand that when these calls are coming in, there's going to be several different calls, several different descriptions. There's going to be, for us as law enforcement, we're looking for an individual with a gun, and we have to stop that threat, right? So if a citizen does choose to act, they have to understand that they're taking on that responsibility of every round that is fired from that weapon. and know that they are truly 100% responsible for that. And that's where the training
Kicks in.
is very important.
You know, I talk to people that have the LTC, and someone was the last me to qualify. Well, I shot at the desert like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And then, do you have coverage? Do you have this? No, they don't have nothing like that. But that's a big, like I tell you, man, I've been having a lot of calls and texts, and they've been contacting me. Where can I take the LTC? We have 24 slots already filled for Saturday till September 21st.
That is
I
awesome.
mean, that's how many people I want to get armed. But I mean, out of those 24, how many people are going to be responsible enough to use it in those situations? How many people are going to get in trouble because they don't know how to use it? You just can't take it out because somebody got you mad and they cut you off in the highway. Then you're going to take your gun out. You know that you're going to have calls like that. You know, there's going to be incidents like that, right? Do you agree?
Yes.
Right. In the state of Florida, Cindy, is there an LTC? Can people carry open carry?
Oh, not open carry, but they can carry concealed.
Yeah. All right. So that's good advice, Corey. I mean, so that's what are you looking for? I mean, do they have to say I'm LTC? I'm a licensed to carry. You still got to treat everybody the same.
Yes. And again, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be complete chaos. So in a situation like that, if somebody that has a license to carry chooses to act, it would be in their best interest to secure that weapon.
When you're there.
Yes, prior to our arrival, because like I said, you know, upon our arrival, the information that we're going to be getting is going to be coming from different callers, different descriptions, different weapon descriptions. So at that point, we are trained to stop the threat. So if we see an individual with a gun, it's going to make it a very challenging situation for those responding. So it's best that those that if they decide to act and they're faced with that, they need to secure that weapon.
And you know what? I mean, it's not just going to an LTC course.
Yes.
And just I hope that other LTC courses and other handgun license courses that they talk about this, and they actually tell the citizen what is expected of them, what to do when law enforcement arrives.
Yes.
You know, not just because people are going to try to make it's a business, right?
Yes.
But I hope that they also know how to train these people, man, because everybody's getting armed now.
Yeah.
You know, we're here for the fight, and you know what? You did this to my city. It's on now. Everybody. But I think I'm just afraid of if that's everybody is the right person to carry a gun. Not everybody. You know what I mean?
And I think within those courses, it's important for the responsibility and the accountability to be overemphasized within those trainings, so people truly understand what they're taking on. It's not just carrying because it's my right, you know. But yeah, I think that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're carrying because it's the right.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, it's actually at the moment of truth that they can use it.
Definitely.
You know, and then like you said, every round that comes out of that gun, they're responsible for every single round.
Yes.
You know, and you know what? The possibility of them missing. And this is a question I asked them: what's the gun for? Is it for your safety or your family's safety, or is it you want to save the day? You know, I mean, I applaud the people, man. They want to get armed, and that way people know that you know what, you're not gonna fuck with El Paso.
Yeah.
You're not gonna fuck with us.
And I think if the training is overemphasized, the accountability, the responsibility of what they're taking on, I think these courses will continue to expand, and people will really take on the seriousness of what they're stepping into. You know, it's not just carrying a weapon on your hip or in your purse. You know,
Because that's gonna happen.
yeah, definitely.
Harrison, before we conclude the show, anything else you want to tell us about what we're talking about?
You know, I can tell you this. I went to Walmart for the first time since
The incident?
Since the incident, and it was a very, very uneasy feeling, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one in the city that felt that. You know, everything just slowed down for me, and I'm looking at all the citizens in there, and they're just walking around, and just innocent people just minding their business, going to Walmart for groceries, you know, whatever.
School supplies.
And it's just it's really sad that an individual would do what he did. And you know, now moving forward, I think as a city, you know, combined with law enforcement and the citizens of El Paso, we can come together and work together and be more educated and more aware. And I think that will definitely put us in a much better situation moving forward here, because that's the only choice we have right now is to move forward, and I know that the citizens are going to be more aware of their surroundings, and I think that's very important, and I think that's going to help us moving forward from this.
And you know what, Corey? It's important also not to forget the lives that got lost, or everybody's that got affected.
Yes.
Don't forget about them, but just don't. And then also just don't forget about our first responders, man. Not because this month we're going to think of them, and then next month, they're out there to do a job, man. And that's important. And it's like they said, you know what? You can go without doctors, and civilization will probably still live and move on. But once you cannot go on without law enforcement.
And I can tell you, that day there was response from
all the agencies,
every single agency in this area, and for those that
and
don't
we
know,
have
we have several. We have a
huge,
a very large law enforcement community within El Paso and El Paso County. So there was and within trainings, we talk about when an incident like this does occur, everyone is going to respond, and that is what happened. And it was great to see that.
And the response time was good. And folks, just to let you know, we are training. We're not just going to step up our training. We've been training hard. The Sheriff's Region 8 Training Academy instructor, we train hard every day for this. El Paso PD and all our feds, they are training. And they continue to train. So please take note of that. Corey, if anybody wants information, training, companies, offices, schools, where can they look for training? I know they can call the Sheriff's Region 8 Training Academy if they want training. Can they call Alert? Can they call you? How can people look for training, man? Civilians.
The El Paso County Sheriff's Office Region 8 Training Academy is a great start. The Alert website also has tons of information that anyone can access, and those trainings are free. It's just a matter of getting it facilitated. So I would definitely, there's great resources there at the Region 8 Training Academy, and I think that would be a great place to start.
And folks, Corey also does the seminars. They're the seminars when you go and talk about this, right, to companies,
Yes.
corporations, and he just, again, tying out about the avoid, deny, and defend.
Yes.
And puts it into action. And folks, like I said, look, man, we're a community that got harmed. Evil came to town. But you know what? It's not going to happen again, man. Let's strive to become better citizens, more trained. Guys, get trained, man. Get out there and get trained, and let's not be a victim. What else, Corey?
That's all I have. Thank you for having me. And again, my prayers and condolences go out to all the victims of these horrible tragedies we've faced here recently. So
yeah, well, it's been a pleasure to have you, Corey. Again, folks, I found it fit to bring this podcast to light and talk about what we just talked about. And again, if you need anything, man, you can call me on my numbers on the website. We'll get you to the right personnel. If your company, your corporation wants training, advice, don't hesitate, man. Call the sheriff's office, call your local police department, and they can direct you to the right person. Your facilities, your CERT teams, high-risk transport, call Sydney, man. Sydney, I have the number there as well. I put it up on the site as well. Anything. We got some good trainers, good people here in El Paso. And folks, that will conclude our show. Again, next week we have a big show too, man. We're going to have the WBC, WBO two-time world champion is going to be on the show. It's going to be Daniel Ponce de Leon. Will be in our gym, in our show next week. But folks, we want to express again our heartfelt sympathy to the families of all the victims, to all El Paso, mi barrio, mi ciudad, to all the families of all the victims, and to all the community for the senseless tragedy. A shout out to Ciudad Juarez, that they've also suffered also as well. There was people from Juarez there as well. We're a beautiful community, man. We're good people here, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to feel the same way when I walk into Walmart too, man. The good people, they shouldn't have died, man, and it's just something that it's always going to plague us. So please prayers for everyone touched by this terrible event. Edwin Castañeda said thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
And again, I want to just shout out to the El Paso Police Department. Thank you for your service. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office, thank you for your service. The El Paso Sheriff's Office, thank you for your service. The El Paso Fire Department, thank you for your service. All our federal agencies, thank you for your service. Volcano, thank you for your service. The U.S. Border Patrol that responded, ICE, thank you for your service. All our Texas Department of Public Safety, thank you for your service. And the doctors, man.
Yes.
The hospitals, the doctors, the RNs, the University Medical Center, Las Palmas, all the hospitals, man. Thanks for what you do, guys. I mean, we came together, and we will not be intimidated by fucking evil. Sorry, but fuck those motherfuckers. All right, this is El Paso. We remain strong. To all our law enforcement, keep up doing the great work. Folks, whatever you do, put God first. That's been my podcast.